We're not giving up. U.S. Coast Guard says hunt for Titanic 5 is still a rescue mission, and they're looking for survivors despite oxygen supply running out as rowboats trawl ocean floor, and Ocean Gate co-founder insists they have longer than we think. Folks, Fernando doing another video for the Modern Survivalists and talking about this, which is all over the news. So we have 5 guys in what, it's not a submarine, it's more like a can that is, it's complicated. It's one of those things that people don't quite understand how difficult it is, because you're 4,000 meters under the ocean. This is not like a plane. I mean, I've talked with pilots that told me, yeah, an engine is not working. Yeah, I land that thing like no problem whatsoever. I was like, what? We do that all the time. This guy told me that, yeah, with commercial flights, an engine has an issue, no problem. One more engine going, they're still landing, there's not a problem. You can land a plane that has nothing working just by, with a little bit of luck and with a little bit of skill. You cannot do any of that when you're 4,000 meters under the ocean, underwater. The pressure of this thing is insane. Something dies underwater and you're stuck there. You're not moving at all. So search goes on, but man, it is difficult. Titanic diver breaks down in tears during emotional interview as he says missing passengers are buried alive in a tin can. I hadn't even read this, and exactly what I said. It's not a submarine. It is a very small, fragile little vehicle that you're putting your life on the line when you get in these things. And this is something I was actually talking with my wife about, how much you dare in life, risks you take. And whenever you walk out of your house, you're taking a risk. Now, yeah, you live life. You make these decisions. You go on a plane. You go into your vehicle, your car. This is like you jump on a parachute. Okay, parachutes. Yeah, there's a lot of them. People jump out of parachutes all the time. You know how many tiny tin fucking little cans with a little engine going down to the Titanic there are? One. It is this company that does it. This is it. So people obviously did not quite understand how dangerous this was in the first place. They paid $250,000 for the privilege of doing this. Is it worth it? I mean, how much can you actually see? There's a little window. So yeah, you're seeing the damn Titanic. I guess it's worth it for people that really do care a lot. I guess at some another level, there's a little bit of a flex thing going on. I had the option of taking one of the icebreakers to the South Pole when I was in Ushuaia, in Tierra del Fuego. That's the end, literally the end of the American continent down south. It was expensive, couldn't afford it at that time. I think it was like $2,000 anyway. Yeah, I was backpacking and I saw it, but when I asked the price, I went, damn, that's kind of pricey. So didn't do it, and it's one of those things that I wish I had done. But yeah, not much you can do about it, especially if it's beyond your means when you're a young guy backpacking. But that would have been one cool thing. This, man, I don't think I would have done that. Knowing what I know now, knowing how these companies work and how you measure risk in terms of something that is beyond experimental. This is something that it's just one company doing it. So as it goes on and we see some of the things that are being said, I've broken some rules to make this. How Ocean Gate boss revealed the 7-inch acrylic window on Lost Titanic sub would get squeezed in under water pressure, and admitted he ignored guidance to create deep sea vessel. Okay, yeah, that's not the kind of thing that gives you a lot of peace of mind. Now, there's things that don't give you peace of mind at all. If you're paragliding, if you're jumping out of airplanes or parachutes, these are things that are risky. If you go bungee jumping, is it exciting? Yeah, I mean, yes, it definitely is. Is it something that is the worth is risk taking? That's on you. That is a very personal decision as to how these guys are likely to be alive or not. They say they hear sounds. If this crashed and crumbled under pressure, there's nothing you can do for them now. If they're alive yet, we don't know. They're definitely running out of oxygen. That's something we know very well. And I mean, they could be. They could have been found right now. They could be getting rescued this very moment. How likely is that? man, it is very unlikely. It is very unlikely that with the amount of time they have left, it is, one more thing is, finding stuff in the ocean is hard. Entire planes disappear and they're not found again. The submarine in Argentina that got lost, and they actually did find that one, but man, it was an international effort. It was the US military, the Russian military, the fucking Chinese, besides anything that the Argentine government could throw money at. I think it was a French or Australian research vessel that eventually found that submarine. Yeah, everyone had unfortunately passed because something blew up, or it was a battery fire or some sort. Anyway, they did find it. It is it's like it's not a needle in a haystack. It is a damn needle in the Amazon forest. Talking about the Amazon forest, this is very different from those kids lost in the Amazon. Those kids were kids that were native to the region. They were Aboriginal people. They knew how to live in this place. And you're not in a tin can in the bottom of the ocean, which is you're running out of oxygen. That is your main thing. It is cold as well. And you know how this will end up, man. If they run out of oxygen, at least it's gonna be pretty quick and painless. If the cold helps them survive a little bit longer. How long can you survive without air? Well, I mean, it depends on how you're breathing. It depends on each person fitness level. But you can't stop breathing. You need to keep on doing that. So eventually they will just run out of oxygen within maybe a day or so. If I remember what I read there, it's kind of very difficult to... Man, I hope they're lucky. Some people are having a little bit of a negative because they're a bunch of billionaires and so on. You know what? They're still people. If it was your son, your daughter, your father, or whoever it is, you have family there, it is still people. And man, I do hope they do find them. But the odds are just not in their favor. Folks, that's going to be all for now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Learn about survival and preparedness. You have the channel. You have my books available in the links there below. See you next time. Take care.